Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, I got a alert on my phone from Bleacher Report. 4 takeaways from Top Rate boxing card.
Was that you?
Yeah, I wrote it. That's my favorite thing. In fact, I have the app on my phone, so I get alerts that are sometimes me. That's not true. I had it on there before. Great way to keep up with content, by the way. But listen, Rachel, we watched another Top Rate boxing on ESPN card, and this one again followed the big UFC show on Saturday night.
Yeah. So let's talk about the good thing. I love, because ESPN is airing both the UFC card and the Top Rank card, they're not, overlapping them.
Especially
We're getting
right now.
them stacked. So it's really, we started watching the UFC 5 p.m. our time, and then at 10, the Top Rank, it just followed like clockwork.
The Top Rank show was 10 to 12, 10 to midnight our time, and so it wasn't like a big long show like UFC. Perfect lead in. You have a big combat sports audience watching MMA already. They're watching the UFC card already because they're great cards. And then you have this big opportunity for Top Rank to be like, hey, look at our product, boxing. It's great. We have great fighters.
Boxing and MMA are niche sports. They have a niche audience.
I call them niche.
Niche. And so with boxing, what we know is that they seem to do lower numbers
Than ESPN cards?
Than MMA, than UFC?
Top Rank boxing, but yeah, tons lower.
Yeah. And particularly in the United States, I would guess. I don't know if globally, boxing globally
American
might be a
TV
little
audience
bit
wants
different.
more UFC than boxing. Now,
So
pay-per-views are different.
Yeah, pay-per-views are different. So this is great. They're getting a prime lead-in. What did we think about how Top Rank used that prime lead-in 2 weeks in a row?
Well, I think they I think ultimately they're squandering it.
Yeah.
I think that let's talk about the things they did right first. They picked the right fighters, at least in the last 2 Saturdays. Emmanuel Navarrete, Miguel Berchelt. Yeah, you want to show guys that people that maybe watch combat sports that don't really watch boxing, you want to show them boxing? Those are the guys, because they throw a lot of punches, they get hit a lot sometimes, and they're in action-packed fights. Great idea. The problem, though, is that you're putting them in against guys that they have no business being in the ring with as sitting world champions.
Yeah, so these are huge mismatches, and so it's not interesting, it's not fun.
And it's so disinteresting that not even the people calling the fight, the people that you pay to call the fight, can muster up any enthusiasm about it. And that comes through. It comes through, and it's meaningless to the guys watching it in the studio or from home when they're doing it, and it makes it meaningless to the audience, which can't happen.
And let's just talk about, because you don't even need, if we had great matchups, there were, 3 fights on the Top Rank card? If we had great matchups, it would be exciting to watch. Here's what we got from the commentating crew. With one of the fights, there was a ridiculous early stoppage. It was
the guy never even fell down.
We were, a guy, barrage of punches from, guy A, barrage of punches from guy B. The ref was like, you know what, this is too much punching. I'm going to stop the fight right here. Because this veteran's just not going to make it. So I'm going to stop the fight. The commentating crew could barely be bothered
because
to
they were in the middle
upon it.
Upon what happened, which was ridiculous. Which compared, especially, that was one of the fights right after Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker, arguably the fight of the year, perhaps, in UFC or in any combat sport. And then you get this stoppage, and they couldn't even muster up. It took them 10 minutes to even acknowledge. I might be exaggerating, but it was a long time to even acknowledge that an early stop. That was probably a little early.
Yeah.
So that's really frustrating.
So it's just,
especially as boxing fans, like Rachel and I are, we love boxing. We want boxing to succeed and do well. It has the frustrating part about boxing is it has all the components that it can be successful, and then they even do some of the stuff which it seems like would lead to it being successful, and then dump stuff like this. Here's another thing. That I think the ESPN in particular crew, especially if you watch UFC in comparison, can we get somebody there who is positive about boxing? And
enthusiastic. I'd like some enthusiasm.
I think, on their own, all the people there on their own they do a good job. They have merit, but everybody there is kind of tinged with a sort of negativity, and I think particularly you stick. I'll just be candid. You stick with either Andre Ward or Tim Bradley because they both serve the same function. I would stick with Andre Ward. I think he does a better job. But they both kind of tend towards some kind of negativity in how they talk. Or at least, man, you want to keep them up, that's fine. I love Tim Bradley, love Andre Ward, love all those guys. Bring in somebody else who can talk positively about the sport of boxing. UFC, we get all these great people are excited about what they're seeing. They're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And boxing, man, they just cannot wait to tear down whatever they're seeing in the ring, or sometimes they can't even bother to be watching what's happening on TV, just like you just said. They're not even watching the fight. They're talking about something else that they're complaining about. I don't like it.
Now, is it because they're, like us, are being offered up these huge mismatches?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just the answer. Because they're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
now, I'll tell you what. I've been to better cards in person in boxing that were much better shows than I've seen over the last 2 weeks in Mexico City, right? I mean, here in Houston, we had a local promoter, a former heavyweight, who's Savaries, who put on great shows, great matchmaking, right? You could do that. You can do that. They don't have to be the absolute cream, especially on the undercard. You don't have to have the absolute cream, best versus best, especially in the quarantine, the main event. But you can have undercard fights that aren't just ridiculous.
Just have really good matchups. It's kind of funny. We've talked before about how PBC has maybe accidentally had really great matchups.
Golden Boy does that too.
And maybe like they should be like, you know, making their fights. Now we talked about like, you know, this before, and we acknowledge that there is a pandemic going on.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It's hard because I've been watching UFC during this whole pandemic, and they just keep giving me great fights after great fights.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just loving, like, all the matchups that I'm seeing. They're not all, like, I don't know. There's something. I called it the other day. I was like, gosh, the ESPN boxing we've seen over the last 2 weeks, they're like the CBS of
like when you watch
football.
CBS football instead of Fox football, and you're like, this is something.
Like, Fox football seems so exciting, and, like, it's something about, like, their audio and their video quality, and then when you watch CBS football, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just muffled, like there's some kind of filter over it that makes it less exciting.
All right.
And that's what I think.
I got a press release just released, though, Rachel, because I was just saying, maybe DAZN needs to come back. Boxing is back on DAZN, Rachel. July 24th, Virgil Ortiz versus Samuel Vargas. That'll be a good fight. Maybe we just need more people involved and now make Top Rank up their game. It's not even, I don't even know whose fault. Is it Top Rank's fault? Is it ESPN's fault? I don't know. I don't care. Just fix it.
That's what we say. This is one of those fix-it things.
Fix it! We love boxing. Nothing is better to me than great. I mean, remember last
I love boxing.
I love boxing. Remember when we were at Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua? How amazing that was, the atmosphere for that fight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Boxing's great.
More boxing. What else is great?
Real talk with Kelsey and Rachel.
Are we great? Do you think we're great?
Look at these stickers of us.
We got stickers.
I don't even look like this anymore.
Anybody can have one.
Yeah,
Nobody
wants one, but it's fine. Whatever. Don't take one. We don't care. I'll just put it on your car.
Like, comment, and please subscribe to our channel. Please. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000.